Before I went into the battle, luckily I had a satellite telephone. The three of my units, I gave them for 2 days each. I said, let all men talk to the people whosoever have a phone at home. That gave so much of spirit to the boys that, they were in touch with their families before they went into the battle. "17 yard from the left, 13 jack from the right, two ridges culminating at 4875.
Yes.
And then I had put two Nagas in between. The moment these two are captured, you would just rush through them and go for the depth
Right.
where the enemy guns are. After the capture of point 4875, we had retrieved 55 dead bodies. We told them that these are here. They said they are not our bodies.
Yes.
17 people in their presence, we buried them on point 4875 and we gave them the respect. This is our Indian culture. We have a radio set which has a pressure. If you press the switch, the fellow who's on the phone, he can't hear you. So Deepak Rampal is press the switch. Jawano, fikar mat karo, main aage ja raha hoon. I'm telling Deepak, big tiger here. Leave the switch. 30 yards, there's a platoon coming with ammunition, attack beaten back. My successor, Brigadier Mate, he's a 101 course. Vikram Batra's course. This rally was organized and it was so pleasing to see. Such a moment of pride. This is what the army is all about.
Army is all
Regimental spirit,
Yes.
army spirit, force spirit, the spirit which comes from the heart.
Hello and welcome to this very special series that Oneindia is bringing to you on the occasion of the 15th of August, which Independence Day, the nation, the world too, is taking note of how India has come a long way as far as the independence is concerned, as far as developments and also the cultural aspect of it is concerned. One important constituent of India's independence, India's democracy, India polity, one of the important cornerstones is the Indian Defence Forces, the Indian Army, Air Force and the Navy. And it is our pleasure today to be joined by Major General Ramesh Kakkar, Yudh Seva Medal, and he is there with us today to tell us what it means to take fresh breath in an independent India and what does it take to maintain the sanctity, the gravity of this particular feeling. Major General Kakkar, thank you so much for speaking to Oneindia.
Thank you.
Sir, first things first, independent India is not just a status quo, but it's also a feeling. You have served a long time in Indian Army. Share with us your experience. When you look back, what feeling does it give you, starting with 1969 when you graduated, the first war that you entered in 1971, then Kargil happened. What is your experience when you look back, sir?
Well, Pankaj, Indian Army prepares you in such a way that during the initial stages only, when you're doing training at the National Defence Academy, at the Indian Military Academy, the amount of discipline that is inculcated into you, that you imbibe the value of time.
Right.
Then you imbibe the value of what pride is there to be a soldier.
Right, absolutely.
Now, to be a soldier, one thing is very, very important, and that is that he thinks about only his regiment, because that's a place from he started.
Right.
That is a place from where the brotherhood, camaraderie starts.
Right. Absolutely.
Once you join a regiment, then that camaraderie leads you to such a pride in your nationality that you are a proud Indian, that you cannot let down India and let down your own regiment.
Right, absolutely.
That is a very, very big thing that the army, the defense forces imbibe into you right from the beginning. After our commission, I joined my unit got the initial training in the battalion because you're a subaltern. You're
Yes.
trying to find your ways.
Mm-hmm.
They push you around, give you independent tasks. And then the 71 war happened.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now, the first thing that I learned during the 1971 war was
Mm-hmm.
that you're used to the bombardment
Okay.
in the training. But
Mm-hmm.
there, the bombs and the bullets are going over your head because safety matters.
Mm-hmm.
And here we were in a place called Suchetgarh,
Mm-hmm.
and we had just entered Suchetgarh to prepare our defenses.
Right.
And then came the bombardment, which was
Mm-hmm.
live onto our heads.
Right.
And we had never experienced this kind of a thing.
This was not training. This was real life.
It is real life.
Right.
And then what we see, our commanding officer, Colonel Inda Rajkumar,
Mm-hmm.
he told his Sahayak, get me my chair. He got the chair,
Mm-hmm.
sat down outside and started reading a newspaper.
Oh, as if nothing is
So
happening.
this kind of a leadership
Hmm.
has left me such a big mark that I followed this, that even during an emergency like this, how to show leadership traits.
Right.
This is the biggest lesson that I learned, and it continued.
Right. Leadership is something that the officers are trained both at NDA and the IMA, sir, and that's what forms the strength and the cornerstone of the armed forces. One event that transpired 2 decades later was 1999 Kargil, and your leadership was something that we all have read about, heard about. The way it was not about just the war when it started, but before that, prior to that, what kind of preparations were done, how to evacuate the general people there, how to reduce the casualty. What was going in your mind when when the war just started with Pakistan in 1999?
You see, you have put such a lovely question to me, which is very close to my heart.
Right.
All right. I joined 79 Independent Brigade. That's called Himalayan Brigade,
Right.
which operates beyond 12,000 feet and beyond. Is trained for that,
Okay.
for offensive tasks.
Mm-hmm.
So when I joined, I had a very beautiful boss,
Mm-hmm.
Lieutenant General Kishan Paul.
Okay.
After 1 month of my joining the brigade, he called me. He says, what do you want, Ramesh, from me?
Mm-hmm.
I said, sir, as of now, I have got 4 battalions,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like them to be acclimatized fully.
Right.
Some are acclimatized, but they're
Mhm.
not. He said, very good. He sent the entire brigade to Gulmarg at the
Okay.
height of 13,000, 14,000, 15,000 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know Kargil is going to happen,
Right.
but my task was beyond 12,000. So we started
Right.
subconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
It happened. Instead of
Okay.
2 battalions, I had 4 battalions,
4 battalions.
trained at all my time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we went into Kargil on 25th of May, we got the orders
Right.
from Gulmarg move. 27th of May, we reached in 1999,
Mm-hmm.
and we were given an area called Mashko Valley,
Mashko Valley.
Daraz,
Yes.
and our task was to clear 40 kilometers of Mashko Valley
Mm-hmm.
and to clear point 4875, which is the most dominating point in that area,
Right.
and restore the situation of the LOC.
Hmm.
And at that point of time, this big fight the big fight started in the Tololing and Tiger Hill.
Mm-hmm.
So this gave me 2 weeks time
Yes.
to prepare further.
For upper reaches.
Further.
Mhm.
So what was in my mind was that I should plan my operation such a way that I surprise the enemy.
Right.
My plan should be such.
Mm-hmm.
I should suffer the least number of casualties. And any casualty that is suffered from there, I must be able to evacuate them in such a way that no one dies.
Right.
En route. These are very difficult heights.
Mm-hmm.
And before I went into the battle, into the offensive work to capture point 4875,
Mm-hmm.
luckily I had a satellite telephone.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So which I said to the 3 of my units, 17 Jat, 13 Jackrif, I gave them for 2 days each. I said, let all men talk to their people whosoever have a phone at home.
Right, right.
So that gave so much of spirit to the boys that they were in touch with their
Wow.
families before they went into the battle.
This is leadership, sir. This is
So
absolute leadership.
this was there, and then of course the battalion joined. You heard about Anuj Nair,
Right.
Deepak Rampal. They did a beautiful job. They got Mahavir Chakra and Veer Chakra. And 13 Jackrif was the most difficult task that can be given in the Indian Army to capture a point 4875.
Right.
And capture a 4875 entailed real heights, sheer ridges, and it was very difficult to capture them.
Absolutely.
So now preparation for 4875. Luckily, I had an officer there, Brigadier Lakwinder Singh. He was artillery in charge.
Right.
And he was having Bofors. So we decided that for such height, we will use the Bofors in a direct firing role. Instead of going on top, let's take a aim at the bunkers and fire at them.
Okay, absolutely.
So it's a very good thing started. We used to fire around. For 5 minutes, the enemy would bow his head down and the men would move 10 yards ahead. And then some rocket launcher of the battalion, they put their head down. And this way moved up.
Covering fire.
So that's the place, Vikram Batra.
Yes.
Dil Mange More.
Yes, Dil Mange More.
And Sanjay Kumar.
Yes.
Vikram Batra died first. And then Sanjay Kumar laid down his life. So it was the preparation like this which mattered a lot.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
Now, we had captured point 4875.
Right.
But we had to clear the LOC.
Yes.
So
it was not over.
17 Jar from the left, 13 Jack from the right, two ridges culminating at 4875.
Yes.
And then I had put two Nagas in between. The moment these two are captured, you would just rush through them and go for the depth.
Right.
Where the enemy guns are. And go and launch a raid there.
Right.
Now, Nagas are a very young battalion. Very young soldiers. Between the age of 20, 24, 30.
Fighting fit.
Fighting fit. And generally all soldiers like that. But these soldiers,
I know.
Clean shaven, little height, with the rifle in the hand, looking very menacing.
Right. Menacing. Yes.
So they started running.
Charging.
And the moment the enemy saw them, they started running away. Nagas have come.
Yes.
And then when they were doing this, in the meanwhile, the battalion had launched a raid onto the guns and they captured 12 pieces of artillery that broke the backbone of the Pakistan Army. We reached the farm base, we reached the LOC, and the Tiger Hill was captured, and we had reached the LOC with the first battalion to have reached, and then followed by 17 Jat, 19 Jat, we surrounded, and they all withdrew.
Right.
Okay. So this was a nutshell, I'm telling you.
Yes. Absolutely. So this kind of planning, the kind of leadership that you demonstrated, and the whole team that was there, the situation at that particular point of time, what started as a surprise for Indian Army, finally Indian Army took it to the logical end. The kind of professionalism, sir, the Indian Army demonstrated was also talked about, not just nationally but internationally also. But the same, I would say, respect was not shown from the Pakistani side. Is there any sort of that kind of feeling that while Indian Army was returning the dead bodies of Pakistani soldiers, it was with all due formalities, but from the Pakistani side it was missing?
Yes. It was a big fault of Musharraf. We had in our area half a battalion of 6 Northern Light Infantry.
Okay.
They are army soldiers.
Yes.
They are like Jats and Rajrifs, Rajputana rifles. They disowned them. They are not National Light Infantry. Then we had, after the capture of point 4875, we had retrieved 55 dead bodies. Retrieved physically.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
We told them that these are here.
Please take
come. They said they are not our bodies.
Non-state actors,
they
as they always
no reply
have.
came. We buried them on the .4875, and we gave them the respect
Yes.
of a Shaheed.
The due burial.
Shaheed.
Yes.
This is
Of
our
Shaheed.
culture. This is our Indian culture. So this sent big messages to the Pakistanis.
Absolutely. The
They
people
got, I mean, the civilians out there are still talking about it, and they talk about Indian Army with respect. This is the respect that not only we have earned in India from Indians, this is the respect that we've earned from Pakistanis for Indian Army.
Absolutely. Sir, you mentioned 13th Jackrif, 25 years of Kargil have just passed. The IMA's 101 regular batchmates, course mates, they did a motorcycle rally through Dras, Kargil, Batalik, and Mashko, and all the regions. This kind of tribute that the course mates from 101, Captain Vikram Batra's course mates paid to him. What message do you think it sends across to the general army fraternity?
You see, this was very beautifully done. My successor, Brigadier Mate, he is a 101 course.
Right.
And he is commanding now 79 Independent.
Okay.
He's commanding the brigade that I have commanded.
Oh, yes, yes.
And he's
Now he's
Vikram Batra's course. So then he requested his course-mates who are serving that we must pay our homage
yes.
to Vikram Batra. And then this rally was organized. And it was so pleasing to see. Such a moment of pride to see these officers. They are not forgotten their brother in arm who was the course-mate.
Right.
In fact, they have honored him in such a way that his memory is everlasting. The memories of the soldiers who are serving now.
Right.
That
right.
Vikram Batra is there. After 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, only he'll be named.
Yes,
but the soldiers who are here now, for the next 15, 20 years, they will keep singing their praises and keep on passing it on. This is what the army is all about.
Army is all
Regimental spirit,
yes,
army spirit, course-mate spirit, the spirit which comes from the heart.
Absolutely. This brotherhood also is something that is for lifelong. Major General Kakkar, Kargil, when we look back, it is about stories of valor, grit, determination, and leadership. In your opinion, sir, if you would want to share with us some story, some moment that is very close to you of leadership, when you think that that was the time when you had to take a decision and you went ahead with it and executed it.
I will give you two incidents which are at the back of my mind. And those officers, when I think about them with pride. One is that of Anuj Nair. He was a young officer. He was my daughter's classmate.
Oh, okay.
He was a young captain. His company commander during the attack suffered injuries. He was evacuated. So the youngsters took command. And he took command at the time when it was the most critical.
Absolutely. Can't get
He was just commanding a leading platoon. Company commander has laid down his life. He was in the leading section. He left the officer. Sir, you don't come. Stay put here. I'm going ahead.
Right.
He went and captured a post, which was the most difficult up the hill. Lobbed grenades, took his section, and killed 4 people with MMGs.
Right.
While doing so, he also laid down his life. Now, the battalion is, the company is without an officer.
Yes.
At that point of time, there was a fellow called Captain Shashi Bhushan.
Okay.
With every leading company, you have an artillery officer who drops the fire of the artillery onto the target. He keeps on adjusting. Shashi Bhushan told the, I'm the company commander now.
Okay, he took charge.
He took charge without being told.
In that situation.
At that point of time. And he led the company to success.
Wow.
And we gave him Veer Chakra.
Amazing.
The second incident which comes into my mind of immediate decision
Right, right.
is there's a fellow called, this is from 17 Jat again, same, another year.
Right.
There's a fellow called Deepak Rampal. The one company of Anuj Nair was on the left, and he was going through this to attack.
Right.
And he did a beautiful job, reached on the top, and since the enemy was in between 4875 and this, they captured it.
Okay.
Now, Pakistanis, what they do is, it was a difficult thing. A lot of people got casualties and all that.
Right.
He reached on the top. And what Pakistani do is, at the moment the position is about to be captured, they all leave the position and then they withdraw.
Okay. Okay.
And the moment you are reached on the top, the Pakistanis form up to attack you back, so that at that point of time you are absolutely unsettled.
You are thinking that you have got it.
Men are all over.
Yes. Tired also.
4 men here, 3 men here, 4. You're disorganized. How many people are there?
Yes.
And you get an attack coming. You don't, and you carry a limited ammunition. So Deepak Rampal, I had a communication with each and every company commander, major.
Right.
Now we have a radio set which has a pressure. If you press the switch, nobody, the fellow who's on the phone, he can't hear you.
Okay.
So Deepak Rampal is press the switch. जवानों फिक्र मत करो, मैं आगे जा रहा हूँ, सब आगे आ जाओ, बैनेट लगाओ, हम सबको मार देंगे, फिर क्या हो गया, मिशन खत्म हो गया. I'm telling Deepak, big tiger here, big tiger here, leave the switch. He left the switch. Deepak, big tiger here, look back, 30 yards, there's a platoon coming with ammunition. All the boys who are there, collect the ammunition and start firing at them. Roger, sir. Attack beaten back. There was nobody behind.
Right. But you just gave an impression.
I just gave an impression, because at that point of time he required somebody.
Yes.
To put him into that spirit that he has to do this. He knows he's a training, but in that exuberance, he doesn't want to lose a position.
Right.
This is second.
Wow. Exact lively tales of valor in those testing times. You can't.
So that is why they say keep the pulse in the hand. This is a task of the commando.
Right. Much respect, sir. Salute to the service that you have rendered. I was listening to one of the interviews by one of the noted filmmakers, Farhan Akhtar, and his father, Javed Akhtar, scripted a movie called Lakshya, where Hrithik Roshan plays a gentleman cadet, and later on he joins the army, roughly based on the same Kargil war, sir. Why Javed Akhtar chose to make that movie was that he was told in the year of 2001, 2 years after the Kargil war happened, that there is a scarcity of officers in Indian Army. The movie was made 2-3 years down the line. They went to Indian Military Academy again, and Javed Akhtar was there, Farhan was also there, and the officers asked from the IMA present cadets that how many have you joined army after watching the movie Lakshya? There were 30-40 candidates who raised their hand. What is it that motivates the youngsters, sir, and what should be it that motivates the youngsters to join Indian Army in your opinion?
You see, I think very prudent to say that the positivity of media.
Thank you.
The positivity of the media in showing and elaborating the army flamboyance.
Yes.
The army's
much deserved
life.
Yes.
It is a life which anybody will look forward to. Carefree, dedicated, with loyalty for the nation in your heart, and then will to do or die for the nation.
Yes.
So such movies inspire school-going children. Could be girls, could be boys, and then the competition becomes that much more fiercer. So these movies, the moment they generate some kind of interest, supposing there were 25,000 people inspiring There are
Yes.
more than 75,000 people inspiring now to join NDA, IMA.
Yes, yes.
Now you get the cream. You
Mm-hmm.
get the best.
Best of the best.
Best.
Yes.
This is one thing which is very, very good
Mm-hmm.
in having such movies through medias,
Right.
such
Right.
positivity,
Mm-hmm.
such kind of aim of showing such kind of movies.
Right. Absolutely, Major General Kakkar. I can't help but ask you also, with these kind of positive energy around defense forces, be it military, army, air force, or navy, we see very inspirational videos made by these three wings of the Indian Defense Forces, and it inspires. Trust me, I am a father of two kids, and I would definitely want them, if they are willing, to join the Defense Forces. The government in itself is doing the best it can by allocating the budgetary allocation that is required for the betterment. With changing times and modern technologies, sir, in your opinion, when you look at army, when you look at defense forces on the whole, are we headed on the right path, first of all? And secondly, if there are certain changes or amendments that could be made at any level, any suggestion that you would like to maybe give it through your experiences?
See, I left the army in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to that, now 18 years have passed.
18 years of us.
There has been tremendous amount of improvement technology wise,
Mm-hmm.
communication wise, artificial intelligence wise,
Mm-hmm.
because future wars are going to be wars of technology.
Right.
All right. Uh, the basic weapon, the basic infantry, the artillery, the tanks, that be it, they will remain supreme.
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't superimpose them with the
Yes.
superior
Changing technology.
technology, then we will be lagging behind.
Right.
And I think in the last about 10, 15 years, a lot is being done.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Self-sufficiency in production of weapons,
Right.
self-sufficiency in production of ammunition, which people forget is the
Oh,
mainstay. If you
right.
don't have ammunition, you have nothing.
How
You're a
what are you
man with
going
a
to do?
rifle with no ammunition, with nothing to fire.
Right.
That is uh, becoming self-reliant
Mm-hmm.
in all these munitions of war. I think we have taken very big steps.
Right. Right.
Also, you find uh, in air defense,
Mm-hmm.
we have A400 air
Yes.
defense areas are being
Mm-hmm.
covered very wisely.
Mm-hmm.
The You'll be surprised that what we had recommended.
Mm-hmm.
I was a Major General GS in Lucknow Central Command, and we had issued a paper where the Defense Secretary, Defense Minister, everybody had come saying that these roads should come up.
Right. Right.
Now, in the last 18 years, I was pleasantly surprised that all those roads have come up.
See,
That is
that is
a
being worked on.
very, very big thing. If you
Mm-hmm.
cannot reach the borders within the time stipulated
Mm-hmm.
to take action, is of no use. This is the
Very well said.
biggest achievement that the Indian
Absolutely.
Army, the nation has achieved.
Absolutely, Major General Kakkar. I can't agree with you more. You're right. Be it connecting the border areas through roads, the smart villages that are also coming up there, so that they are properly inhabited also, and from tanks to guns, the self-reliance, the Atmanirbhar Bharat approach towards defense sector is something that really is commendable. Talking about the men behind the machines, the men behind the uh, technology would be operating them. Agniveers have made an entry into the Indian Armed Forces, and they are well received, and there are certain quarters which have criticized them also. On the whole, generally, with clearly and only from the perspective of the army, how do you see this particular addition to the armed forces lot?
You see, I will give you a little genesis of Agniveer.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Till after 62 and 65 war, till that time, we used to have men with 7 years of color service.
Color service, 7 years. Okay.
And then balance of 8 years, they would go back home
Mm-hmm.
and then join the union for 2 to 3 months
Okay.
and carry out training.
Uh-huh.
And they could be called back anytime.
Right.
And then their pension will start after 15 years.
Okay.
And they will get normal pay from 7 to 15 years.
Okay.
Then a need was felt
Mm-hmm.
that we have to expand the Indian Army.
Mm-hmm.
So that expansion saw that color service becoming minimum of 15 years
Right.
and up to 24 years for Havaldars and then JSOs 28, 32.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now the Agniveer, the circle has come back
Yeah, absolutely.
and they said we'll have Agniveers with 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
retain 25% and
Right.
balance can go after 25
Mhm.
years.
Right.
This is in the process of, I think they're studying this.
Mm-hmm.
There have been negative voices, there have been some positive voices. And I think this has been already in the planning stage to make it 8 years
Mm-hmm.
with a larger package for the Agniveers and retention of about 50 to 60%
Mm-hmm.
men in the service. It's an evolving process. I
Right.
think let's wait and watch for 2 to 3 years more
Mm-hmm.
and let us see what happens.
Absolutely.
But if 50% people are retained, at
Mhm.
least the people who are most technically qualified are
Mhm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Other boys who have gone back, the major thing is for the settlement.
Right.
There should be any lip service for them.
Something concrete should be there.
Some accountability of the Indian army, so the Indian government has to be there 100%.
Right.
That those 50% who are leaving will get an assured job
Mm-hmm.
after they are
Leaving.
they leave the Indian army.
Right.
The states have to join in,
Right.
the center has to join in, everybody has to join in, and then this is one thing where no political party
Mm-hmm.
should fight. This
True.
is the army. Indian army is for the nation. It's for BJP. It's for Congress. It's for
Mhm.
anybody.
Right.
It's for all
Absolutely.
parties. So all
Beyond
states, governments, even if they are not
Mm-hmm.
the government formed in the center, they should help them. But
Right.
they should get this. And then if we have generated this kind of feeling, then
Mhm.
alienation will stop. People will love it.
Right. Well said, Major General Kakkar. I really admire the way you have put it. And army, I think, is a way of life and a very distinct way of life. And no matter you spend 4 years or 4 months or 4 days, even I would say, since I returned from one of the SSBs empty-handed after 7 days, being told that you might be suitable for some other field. I was already working as a journalist, tried my luck in Indian Army, and I find myself the true essence of leadership that it inculcates. So I think any Agniveer who plans to leave it after 4 years would be a better person and better position to project himself for the next job that he gets at hand. One final question, Major General Kakkar, that I wanted to take from you. You have been part of 1971 war, then Kargil happened, and then many more plannings and strategies and implementations that you did. There must have been times, Major General Kakkar, when you would have, or any leader in the army would think that there are not many options left. The decision making that has to be done in crisis times. What keeps you motivated, or what kept you motivated, and what keeps the other senior leaders in the army motivated when they have 200 men to take care of and one decision that has to be taken? How do you weigh this decision aspect?
I think this question is very deep. As a company commander,
Mhm.
which is commanding 120 men, as a battalion commander, a colonel who's commanding about 800 men,
Right.
as a brigade commander who's commanding 8 to 9,000 men.
Mhm.
These are the forces which are going into the battle in
Right.
real sense.
In real sense.
Then
Yes.
3 to 4 brigades form a division.
Mhm.
They are the people who are strategists.
Okay.
Do this. They are like, they're seeing, keeping the pulse
Right.
of
Awaken.
the advance. Like, you play chess this way. They're keeping, they are there.
Yes.
Now, till the rank of a brigadier, you have only one thing in your aim, that there is no second in the army, no second position.
Position. You have to be first.
There has to be first. Either you win or you lose. Once you have done that, then you make your plan, you make your options. And once an option has been decided, you have evaluated a lot of things. And then it's a maintenance of aim to achieve the objective with minimum number of casualties.
Very important.
Because the men, if they die unnecessarily, like a fodder, no, they are not. They have, each man has a mother,
yes,
a wife,
family,
a child. You're not responsible for that man. You're responsible for the whole clan of his family. It's a very big weight on your head.
I can totally understand.
It's a very big weight. And you get so involved into it that you even forget your own family.
Absolutely.
Now, to this extent, I would like to tell you one incident. I would like to tell you one thing which nobody talks about.
Please, by all means.
Is the role played by army officer's wife.
Okay, yes. Very
commanding
important.
officer, his wife.
Right.
Company commander, his wife. Brigade commander, his wife. Chap has died from his company,
right,
from his unit. Who has to give solace? It is the company first fellow to reach days like this.
Okay.
Not bragging, not talking about my wife. There she is. In Kargil war, there were so many casualties. We had to evacuate them, and she would be at the airport to receive each one of them, to be with the widows, with the mothers, consoling them, going with them till the last, and organizing the last ride with the help of the army.
Right.
This is a very big this thing. And
Salute.
with the result, it becomes a regimental kind of, it's a home, away from home.
Absolutely.
It cannot be more closer than this. Even my brother, my own mother, my own father will not be closer than this bondage. This bondage is very strong.
Absolutely. Much respect, sir. Much respect. You have painted such a lively picture, sir, in front of me, in front of the viewers who are watching this broadcast. Major General Ramesh Kakkar, I can't thank you enough for taking time out for Oneindia, sir.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be with you, Pankaj.
The pleasure is all ours, sir, and the pleasure is for the nation also, to see, to imbibe, to learn from the leaders who have shaped not just the history, but are shaping the future, the present of the country also. Oneindia will be bringing you more such interviews on this auspicious occasion of India's Independence Day. Keep watching.